Hello and welcome to episode 500 of the Mark and Me podcast. As always, I'm your host Mark. Now, this is a huge milestone episode, one that's been probably quite stressful for me because I see people's reactions, I listen to everyone's comments, and I get people are like, are you going to get Steven Spielberg? Are you going to go and get Robert De Niro? And I want to make this episode really personal. A guest that means hell of a lot to me, and someone that is a friend. So I'm absolutely thrilled to announce that joining me for this huge episode is my good friend, Sean Smith. Yes, the incredible frontman for the Blackout, and also an incredible podcaster for the Sappenin podcast. But not only that, someone that is an important person in my life that's become a very close friend, and I spend a lot of time with him in fields, no, not dogging or anything like that, going to festivals and having the time of my life. And he's someone that I truly am really proud to have join me for episode 500 of Mark and Me. Now, as always, and I won't change this even though we're on episode 500, I always like to touch base and use the introduction to Mark and Me to quickly touch base and talk about my last episode. And it was a live episode recorded at 2000 Trees with the amazing band The Excerpts. Thank you so much to everyone that listened. It was an incredible experience to be there last weekend, and to give you that for those people that weren't there, or to celebrate if you were and have that moment again. It was unbelievable. Thanks so much to the band. That new album by theirs is out now, which is phenomenal, and it was just a great episode. But let's get back to today, because today is a huge episode. You know how much the milestones mean to me. Episode 200 was my dad. It doesn't get much more personal than that. Episode 300 was Biffy Clyro. Episode 400 was the return of Kevin Smith. So it brings me great pleasure to say, here is my guest for episode 500, Sean Smith. Sean Smith, welcome to episode 500 of the Mark and Me podcast.
Sappenin.
How are you?
Very, very good. All the better for seeing you. Thank you very, very much for travelling all the way to 2008's third roughest town in Britain, Merthyr Tydfil.
For the listeners out there, can you tell us exactly where we are at this present moment? Because it's way too posh for Merthyr Tydfil.
I mean, it does look posh. That's a facade. We are currently in Cyfarthfa Park, which is home to Cyfarthfa Castle, where I went to secondary school, year 7 and year 8. It looks like Harry Potter school. What's that called?
Hogwarts.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a virgin. Hogwarts, yeah, it looks like Hogwarts apparently. And we are currently stood in a bandstand, or sat in a bandstand, I should say, talking outside in nature. And I can't promise that we won't be interrupted by some of the dullest people on earth.
So, Sean, what I do on this podcast, and I'm not going to change it for today's episode, is every guest that comes on, even though we're episode 500, I always like to go right back to the very beginning.
Yes.
And for you particularly, what was that first album that you remember going out there and buying with your own pocket money? And I'm talking maybe our price if we're here, or something like
W.H. Smith's.
W.H. Smith's.
No, Woolworths it was.
Woolworths.
Woolies.
Beautiful. So you got your pick a mix and your album at the same time.
Funnily enough, that was the two things I bought that day. Was a pick a mix. Too many of those pink shrimps. Remember them pink shrimps?
Yeah, they're fluffy.
Didn't taste of shrimp at all. What did they taste of?
Strawberry.
Pink.
Yeah, just pink.
Not the lady. The colour.
Album.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking about the taste of pink. First album I ever bought was in Woolworths in Merthyr Tydfil, which is now, I believe, a Farm Foods. And I bought it because this was pre-internet, pre-filthy books being available anyway. I bought it because it had a parental advisory sticker on, and I wanted to read the word fuck. And that's strange when you think about it now, like how easy it is. Like, you could type it on your phone and read it. Like, back then, swear words were not in literature I was reading as a child. So the first album I ever bought was Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2.
With the blue cover?
With the blue cover, which I think is fucking brilliant. A lot of people don't like it because it's a lot of covers. I think it's fucking excellent.
So was it Get in the Fucking Ring that was the song that
Get in
made
the ring.
you go,
Get in the ring,
wow.
motherfucker.
Wow.
Why are you so pissed off because your father gets more pussy than you? Fuck you. Suck my fucking dick. Cheers, Axel. So, yeah, I read that and I was like, oh my God! Somebody said this to another man. And it was a fella from Nick Well from Kerrang, if I remember correctly. And then many years later, sorry to skip forward, many years later, in 2013, I was sat in a minibus. It was me, my friend Scott Evans, also from Merthyr Tydfil, who we took out because the promoter said we got plenty of spaces if you want to bring a friend out. So we took my friend Scott, and Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses
Jesus.
was sat.
Name dropping already.
Oh, you just
Yes.
fucking this is clang, the first of many
Yes.
clangs going on, and so Duff McKagan turned to us and was like, "Oh, you Welsh boys, where you from?" And we were like, "Oh, 30 miles north of Cardiff." And he went, "No, where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, Merthyr Tydfil." He was like, "I know Merthyr Tydfil." And I was like, "No, you fucking don't, Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses." And he said, "Yeah, I read a book called Dial M for Merthyr, which is about a band called Maida Suno from Merthyr Tydfil, who were great." And I proceeded to tell Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses that Use Illusion 2 is the first album I bought because of a parental advisory sticker, and he told me that's why he bought his first album, was because it had a parental advisory sticker on it.
Don't tell me what it was, because I'll wait till the day he comes on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Ask him about that.
Wow.
Don't ask him about me, he probably don't remember me. Do you know what? He'll remember my brother, because check this out. So the first album I ever bought is Use Illusion 2. My brother ends up tour managing Duff McKagan years later for his Walking Papers band.
Jesus.
My brother is in Duff McKagan's book. My
He's
brother
actually talked
Jay,
about.
Yeah, he gets mentioned in Duff McKagan's book.
Do you know, I never knew you had a brother till today. This is true.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. I thought you were an only child. I'm not lying.
That would make sense. I do seem like a
Yeah.
very spoilt,
Entitled, I think.
entitled,
Yeah. Brat.
attention needing shithead. Yeah. No, I've got a younger brother actually.
You've never ever mentioned him.
Who does tour managing and driving and merch for loads of bands. He did the Blackout for years. Does Duff McKagan. He's done Life of Agony lately. He's done loads of Florence Black. He's been out with Black Gold in Europe lately. Yeah.
Wow.
You've bound to have seen him at festivals as well.
I
and
would
gone,
have, yeah.
That looks like Sean if he'd been in a terrible accident.
So, live music made it all change for me. I've told this story many times, but at the age of 13, my first gig was Green Day on their Dookie tour
Oh, sorry.
at Wolverhampton.
Oh, God, it gets worse.
But it changed my life at that point, because I got home and wanted to dye my hair green and be like Billy Joe Armstrong, and that was the reason I wanted to pick up a guitar and be in a band.
Yeah.
Did you have a great introduction? Surely it wasn't Guns N' Roses for your first ever gig.
No. First ever live gig I ever went to was in a place called Morpher Stadium, which I believe no longer exists, in Swansea. And it was to see Aberday's finest, Stereophonics headlining. And the lineup was ABCD opening. That was an AC/DC tribute band, because the drummer from Stereophonics, Stuart Cable, God rest his soul, loved AC/DC so much they wanted an AC/DC tribute band to open from.
There's not enough bands now having supports that are tribute bands. That's what we need more of.
No, it's not. We need the opposite. We need less tribute bands. All you see, you can go to any fucking venue website, and that's all that's there is tribute fucking bands. We need less of them. Anyway, ABCD. I forgot the alphabet there.
ABCD.
ABDC. Yeah, I
Yes.
made that up. Yeah.
Yep.
Then it was a band called the Crockett's. Do you remember
I
them?
remember the Crockett's.
Davey.
Fucking hell.
They were
Yeah.
fucking wild, yeah. Then Reef played,
Amazing band.
and then Stereophonics went on, and I was crushed. I was about the 7th row, and at one point everybody fell over. And I thought, I'm going to die here. And then after I didn't die, I was like, oh, that was cool. That was a good rush. And I loved that atmosphere. The problem with it is, looking back at it now, it does feel a bit national fronty, just because it was all of Wales celebrating Wales. And at the end of the set, they did a song where there was as long as we beat the English, I don't
Awful.
care. So yeah, but after that, the next gig I ever went to live, I saw Lost Prophets play downstairs in Blackwood Miners to 350 people, and it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life, because it was 6 boys from not far from where I live spitting on the ceiling while causing mosh pits and jumping on crowds. And then I saw that and I went, I want that for me.
Did they have an album out at that point, or was it just a couple of singles?
No, they'd had Fake Sound of Progress. The original copy had been out for a couple of months, I think, and they were life changing, because it was so amazing to see that a band could do Americanized metal and be from Pontypridd. So it made me go, oh, well, if they can do that, can I do that? And then I'm here now because of that. So
did it feel like 350 people was a huge success at that point, because they were bands that you'd seen walking around your streets? They were literally people you knew. So it was like, wow, they're fucking playing a venue, and people are singing their songs back to them, and it's a busy room.
I didn't know them personally at the time.
No.
Like, I met them through that gig, actually. And then later on at Butlins Kerrang Weekender they did, where I really cemented my friendship with them. But no, it was just amazing to see boys from Pontypridd looking cool as fuck, dressing cool as fuck, making music that I thought was cool as fuck, while having the crazy... Like, I'd never seen a circle pit. Like, imagine going from a Stereophonics indie gig...
Yeah.
Where everyone's just like, oh...
The Bartender and the Thief.
Yeah, Bartender and the Thief for lovers. See what they need, like sisters and brothers. And then you go and watch a circle pit to Shinobi vs. Dragon Ninja. Which was fucking crazy at the time.
So is that the point you come home and you're like, Mum, Dad, I want to be in a band?
Yeah, basically. Well, I wanted to be in a band, but I had no musical talent whatsoever. So I couldn't sing, I couldn't scream. So what I'd done previously is I'd bought... Because I was into hard house before I was into new metal and the Stereophonics and Guns N' Roses. I had decks.
Did you have Technics 1210s?
No, I would have killed for some Technics 1210s, but I ended up having some... what was the brand? They were PDXs anyway. Newmark. I had some Newmark decks.
That was always the people that couldn't afford the Technics.
But they were proper scratching decks.
Yeah.
So I saw Lost Prophets have a screaming DJ, and I went, well, surely I can scratch. Turns out I couldn't scratch either, but my dad made a flight case for me to take 2 decks round to start a band, and he made it out of what could only be described as the heaviest matter on earth.
Yeah, son.
It was
your one arm's going to be longer than the other.
Honest to God, it was like a coffin made out of lead. And then I basically came to school.
Where we are now.
Yeah. And I went round and coaxed all my friends who were in other bands to start a new band to let me be in it. And then we did that. And then we needed a drummer.
What are you at this point? You're not a singer. You're still the guy on the scratching.
Yeah, I'm decks and backing vocals.
Nice.
Because I hadn't sussed out how to scream until we finally got the band together, and then we rehearsed. Oh, I could have pointed it out to you earlier when we were doing our tour of Merthyr. But we rehearsed above a place called Pizza Point in Merthyr.
We'll go there after this recording.
And we covered Sugar by System of a Down.
Nice.
And that's where I learnt I could scream. So then slowly over time I kind of got rid of the decks and become more of a screamer, and then I kind of learned to sing a little bit in the loosest possible sense of the word.
So is Serge now at this point your go-to influence? Are you like, I want to be
Do you know what?
like him?
We covered Sugar and we covered Counterfeit by Limp Bizkit.
Nice.
So the Blackout's first ever gig, prior to being called the Blackout, we were called 10 Minute Preview because we were schoolboys who knew about Babe Station. At 12 o'clock they did a 10-minute preview where you could see...
And Television X.
Yeah, you could see boobs for 10 minutes.
Channel 473.
Yeah. I mean, you're opening yourself as a pervert here, Mark.
It's 10 minutes free boobs at the age of 14.
Yeah. So yeah, we started 10-minute preview, and the first gig we ever did, we covered Fake Sound of Progress by Lost Prophets. We covered Gentle Art of Making Enemies by Faith No More. We covered Sugar by System of a Down, and we covered Counterfeit by Limp Bizkit, and we played 2 original songs. And I think Fred Durst played a massive part as well in me. So when I discovered that Lost Prophets gig, prior to that I just discovered $3 Bill by Limp Bizkit, and I absolutely adored that album. And then no, it was Chocolate Starfish actually. Chocolate Starfish was out.
That was your introduction?
I think so.
So I
Limp
heard
Bizkit.
Counterfeit first and was like, oh, and then I had Faith, and then that album came out.
Yeah, I think I got into it kind of the wrong way around. That album came out and I went backwards for them. And so when I heard Hot Dog and heard him say fuck 48 times, I was like, I can swear and I can shout. These are 2 of my favourite things to do.
And that's where it all started.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up covering Counterfeit, and then many years later, I wrote a handwritten letter to Limp Bizkit from my band The Blackout, because we were lucky enough to tour with them. And I wrote a letter asking is there any chance they could do the Rock Mosh anthem Counterfeit. And then they said, yeah, we will do it, but you've got to sing it. So I ended up doing my impression of Fred Durst at Fred Durst for 4 minutes. And
did you sing it Jules vocals with him, so you both did it, or was it just you?
It was me, then him, then me, then like we went line for line.
Nice.
Hey man, wake up and smell the concrete. It's strange to see a change like the LB. Fred Durst hasn't just turned up, people. That's what I was doing.
Not in Merthyr.
And the thing is, right, they had an auto cue where Fred was like, oh, I got the old man TV if you need the words. And I did the most 14-year-old virgin thing you could do, which is step over the TV. And I turned to Fred Durst and I said, I was born to do this.
And just admitted this on the podcast.
And then instantly regretted those words coming out my mouth.
What did he do? Did he just look and roll his eyes, or?
No, he was just like, oh, all right, we'll see. And then I went, hey, man. And he, as soon as we finished that, he said, oh, don't get too drunk after your set tonight, because we'll do that live. So if you go on YouTube and type in the Blackout Limp Bizkit, there's a video of me that's got 18,000 views. I'm pretty sure I'm 17,000 views of that.
And you nailed it.
I absolutely nailed it. So much so that if he got ill, I would be the perfect stand-in. And
or if he died, it could be like Linkin Park, and it could just be you taking over full time.
I don't want to think of that.
But if it did happen,
nah,
it's on record.
I mean, I'd like it. I'd like to do it. I don't want him to die ever.
No.
I don't want Fred Durst to die ever. But if they ever need a vocalist, I've got it down. So
we watched them together, didn't we, last month at
Yes.
Download, and we were quite in front of the stage. And there was one point when he was asking people to go up on stage, and he put up loads of girls that were all dressed in backwards red hats. And there was a moment when I was like, I just wish he pulled you up at that moment, just to be like, Sean Smith.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Fair play, those girls did very well.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, and they were really young. And I was thinking, they still know every word. And
but don't get me wrong, it should have been me.
It should have. Would you have happily pushed them out of the way to have that moment?
Oh God, I'd have kicked those girls to death to get on that stage. But yeah, that's
So I didn't know obviously the band name before the Blackout. And at what point then you're doing covers? And I mean, Faith No More, Limp Bizkit. You're picking quite challenging songs to test yourself as a screamer, especially Sugar by System of a Down.
Yeah.
And Lost Prophets. You're not just picking easy covers. You're probably really trying to challenge yourself.
We didn't know.
No.
Like, I don't think we knew.
No.
We were just like, we like these songs. Let's do these songs.
Yeah, but trying to sing like Mike Patton at that age is
well, that's why we had another singer.
Yeah.
So he could do the
decent,
the difficult, good bits.
Yeah. The challenging.
And I just do the end where he goes, how does it go at the end? Yeah. Oh no. Did we do? Yeah, we did Dig in a Grave, and then later on we went and covered Gentle Art of Making Enemies for a B-side as well.
Wow.
So I love Faith No More.
We'll get onto them shortly. But what I was interested in is at what point then does it go from doing covers to, I think you said you had 2 of your own songs.
Yeah.
At what point do the covers start getting replaced with more of your own songs, and it becomes the Blackout, and it becomes something that you then think, shit, there's a bit of momentum here. I can feel like this is starting to be more than just a bit of fun with my mates.
Well, 10-minute preview was 5 of the 6 of the Blackout, so it was all of us apart from our guitarist Bob at the time. And we released one demo with 4 tracks on, I believe. And they were okay. Well, they weren't okay. Looking back at them, it's my first band songs. But for what they were at the time, they were kind of decent. But we realised that early on that we didn't want to be a covers band, but we just needed to fill space to do a first gig.
Yeah.
And genuinely, we played in Merthyr for our first gig in a place called RM's nightclub. And
Can we go there later?
No, it's now
Greg's.
Well, since then, it's been Europe's biggest cannabis farm. Twice. Twice.
Not once.
Check this out. While the police were out the front of the... were guarding out the front of RM's, people were jumping in the back windows to take the plants out. So that's where we did...
lying.
No, that's where we did our first ever gig. And I genuinely believe 300 people turned up from the local area to see us fail. And they come to see this Chopsy Twats band and see how bad they are. And I think they were surprised that we weren't as bad as they thought we were going to be.
And how many of your own songs at this point are you starting to play?
Well, that was our first gig, so it would have been
just
two
a couple.
originals and 3 covers. But yeah, I think we got 4 or 5 songs, and then we asked Bob to join the band once he was free of university. Was it university? Or he might have just gone to university. And we invited Bob, and we decided to change the whole vibe and name, and basically start again with fresh songs and ideas. And then we did an EP. I say an EP, it's basically a demo of 4 or 5 songs. And then in 2004 or 5, Fierce Panda Records came to see us play in the Cartoon in Colchester. It's some town beginning with C. And loved us and signed us. And then because they were indie label, didn't really know what to do with us. And then apparently when our first... So we brought out an EP on that called The Blackout, The Blackout, The Blackout, which we called it that just because we thought, imagine we get a TV advert and the presenter has to say, I know the EP from The Blackout, The Blackout, 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 and just they sound like a twat. Basically, what you're going to learn over this chat is we have never taken anything seriously.
Ever.
And we have burnt thousands and thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds. Yeah, so we did an EP, The Blackout, The Blackout, The Blackout on Fierce Panda, which basically took us all of our lives to write that EP. And then as soon as that EP came out, they said, right, you got 6 months to write an album. And we were like, what the fuck? So we brought out our album, We Are the Dynamite, that apparently did so well in its first week of CD sales that nowadays, because nobody's buying records anymore, it would have been number 1 by 6,000 records nowadays. But where it was at the time, we charted number 128 of albums or something like that.
I read this week that Muse are on course to be number 1 with 29,000 sales. That's it.
It's mad, isn't it?
To be number 1 in the whole fucking UK.
I mean, to be honest, there's been lower years. Like when our album Start the Party came out. Like I think that got like top 40, and I don't think it did that many. Like it's crazy how those sales have fucking dropped, and 20,000 albums like to be number 1. That's mad, isn't it?
It is. Gives me hope.
Does it? It does the opposite to me, because people are not buying albums. The fucking musicians do.
Podcasts in the middle of Wales now. So at what point is it then becoming enough for you to go home and say, Mum, Dad, I'm going to go and be in a band? Because I think that's every parent's nightmare, unless you have the most supportive parents in the world. But I've talked to huge bands, as you know, when we've been at festivals, and some parents are the biggest stumbling block before you've even tried to make a name in the industry. You've got a record deal. Was that enough to say, Mum, Dad, please believe in this?
I think I was quite lucky that my parents were very supportive, really. My dad really wanted me to be into things with engines, because my dad loved cars, motorbikes. He used to do sidecar racing. He lost his little finger to sidecar racing. And then when I was 16, he bought me a scooter, an Aprilia 50cc, as soon as he could, to try and get me...
To be a petrol head.
Yeah, to get me the engine bug. But it didn't work. But they were very, very supportive. So like when we needed a van or anything like that. Like my dad would go out and hunt for one and that. And do you know what? I don't remember the time when I went, right, this is going to be my job now. I think, because at one point, 4 of the Blackout were working in the same Castle Bingo.
That's
And
insane,
the 2
isn't
singers weren't bingo callers. And Matthew Davis, the guitarist in the Blackout, who has the worst speech in the Blackout, ended up being a bingo caller. And terrifyingly now, he's a pilot, so that's worrying. Because you don't want a guy shouting, because you won't be able to understand what he's saying.
So you're all working. Your dad's being supportive, even though really deep down he wants you to be probably keep the family tradition going as a petrol head or getting in automobiles and stuff. Is your mum on board? Is she like, son, I believe you, or did she force you and say you should be going to college, you need to get an education?
No. My mother dotes on me. Like, she's amazing. She's been super supportive. Like, I was thinking about this the other day because I saw an old photo of my parents at the Blackout's last show before we split up in 2015. We played Reader Car Leisure Centre in Merthyr Tydfil 2 nights in a row. And there's a photo, and my mother's beaming, and my dad's just pulling his miserable face. And I was like, did he ever, like, come into our gigs? Because it just didn't make sense to me. Like, yeah, I never really seen him happy. But, like, happy at gigs.
Yeah.
Unless he was entertaining people. So we did one gig in Wolverhampton where I came outside, and my dad was talking to people who would recognise my mother. So like, people were like, oh, that's Sean's parents. They were talking to my parents. My dad, because he didn't have anything to give away, he had a bag of my washing where he was almost giving away my pants that I'd given to them to take home to wash.
To random fans.
Yeah, so somebody out there might have a pair of my pants with a Sean Smith special skiddy in.
They're on Vinted right now.
But yeah, no, very supportive, my parents, as were all of the boys in the Blackout's parents, really, because Gavin's father was a carpenter for many years, so when we bought a van, he basically kitted it out inside with benches and seats and beds and stuff like that. So yeah, everyone's parents were really supportive.
Was there a point that, you know, even though you had a record deal, but you said the label didn't know what to do with you at that point, was there a point for you that you had to reach to believe it was enough to tell your mates and everyone around you, like, see, you can start taking me seriously? Was there something you had to do as a milestone for you mentally to prove yourself?
Stupidly, no. I knew. Like, genuinely, since I did Oliver in this school as a play once, and I was in line to be the Artful Dodger, but 2 slightly better singers won it. So they gave me like a part. They ended up making a part for me where I'd have a couple of the Artful Dodgers lines. But I always felt like that I was going to go on and do something that wasn't normal. Now, I don't want to come across like a giant big head or anything like that, but I genuinely felt like entertaining somehow was going to be what I do. So whether that's singing in front in a band, or my dream would be to do stand-up comedy. So I always felt like stuff was going to happen if I focused on it and kept pushing it. And luckily, I guess it did.
Was there no plan B? Was you never thinking, like, what the fuck am I going to do if this band doesn't work out, or it's just not getting anywhere and we just end up playing the same venues and never see that kind of growth?
No, there was no plan B, really. It was that or nothing, I guess. But I guess if you don't back yourself like that, you're never going to know. Whereas some people start a band but keep a job going, and the band never gets to where they could have because they've had a job, or the job never gets to where they could have because they had a band. Whereas I just put all my fucking money in and just went, right, this or nothing. Let's try this now until it doesn't work, and then we'll see what the next thing is.
Is that where Corey Feldman's going wrong at the moment? He's acting and doing the music instead of just focusing on being the biggest rock star ever.
I think his problem was trying music or trying what he thinks is music. I've noticed he's come out lately and he's started slagging Mike Patton off.
Yeah, he said he's got his own cult and he didn't want to work with him.
Yeah, because he fucking have his Mike Patton.
I know.
The greatest vocalist of all time, you stupid Michael Jackson wannabe fuck. I'm super sorry. I hope Cody Feldman comes on Sappenin podcast. Mark, I might need you to edit this out.
Editing that out.
No. You can put it out as episode 500.
Yeah.
But if I end up getting an email from Cody Feldman's team, I might need you to snip this bit out or take it down.
That's fine. It's going out as it is.
Okay.
Where do we go from Michael Jackson wannabe fuck?
Well, is he not?
At what?
Like, at what point? Like, he's cosplaying as Michael Jackson. It's bonkers. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm inspired. You are trying to be.
And his clothes and his...
the greatest dancer and singer of all time. And now you're slagging off the greatest alive singer of all time. You silly fucker.
Anyway.
Imagine Feldman and Patton having a sing-off.
Well, what made me laugh about the article is he was making out he turned down Patton. So he said, I'm not willing to work with Patton because he had this cult. Like Mike Patton sitting there going, Faith No More coming back next year, but let's make sure we can speak to Corey about doing a duet.
Yeah.
Like, that's his priority. I better speak to Corey instead of doing, Faith No More headlining all the festivals.
What do we need to do to get Corey Feldman to sing Easy with us?
At Download.
The answer is, get Michael Jackson to cover it first.
I don't know even how to try and sum up the Blackout's career, but what's those moments that when we now reflect and look back at really mean the most to you?
Oh, good
I know
question.
that's tough.
No, it's a good one. I think getting to go to our first Kerrang Awards was a big moment for us. Because we'd never been invited to anything like that, especially not in the London. Because London, to people of South Wales, is such a foreign destination that, like, I know people from Merthyr Tydfil who fear driving to London, even though it's, you get on that main road there that's going across this tree line, you sit on that for 3.5 hours, and then you're in London. I know people who fear doing that and will never do it because it's too far away. So the fact that we got to go to London and go to the Kerrang Awards, and we were a real band. Like, it's very Pinocchio, but we were real boys. We were real boys in bands for the first time. And then we got to... So Reese, the bassist from the Blackout, he absolutely loves The Prodigy, right? And we caught him talking to two people. He'd been there for half hour talking to two people. At this time, Reese really needed glasses, but he didn't wear them, and he didn't have his contacts with him. So he'd been talking there for half hour to somebody, him and our drummer Snores. And then when they walked away, I walked over and I was like, how was that, Reese? And he was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, do you know who you were talking to? And he was like, no, who was it? It's like, that was Liam Howlett of The Prodigy. Your favourite band, Reese. How did you not know? And just though we were in those circles all of a sudden, and there's a famous, I say famous, it's famous in our circles, that Bob from the Blackout got so drunk on free whiskey that there's a photo of him outside the Kerrang Awards at a bus stop on his hands and knees spewing, while Kerry King from Slayer stands over him with a Kerrang Award and an Alcoholics Anonymous Abuse Centre t-shirt.
Jesus.
Yeah. I've got that photo somewhere. That was apparently Mastodon's tour manager's background on his laptop for quite some time.
That's insane, dude. And I mean, did it feel like you had made it once you'd gone out of Merthyr, like even doing a gig at London, never mind talking about playing in Japan and touring with Limp Bizkit? Was that the first moment that you were like, fucking hell, lads, we've made it, just because of the fear of leaving your safety net?
I think...
Because no one moves. Like, I've been here for a day today, you've given me a tour, and it seems like we've gone back in time. It seems like everyone's stuck in this place, and it's like...
We haven't had Tupac or Eminem yet.
Not yet. And
that's coming soon.
I feel like it's once in a lifetime that someone breaks out and does something for themselves and makes a name for themselves.
Well, as I told you when we were walking around, right, I've got a joke. Violence is never the answer unless the question is, what do you have to partake in to get a statue of yourself in Merthyr Tydfil?
We had this exact conversation over lunch, yeah.
Merthyr Tydfil has got 4 statues of dead boxers. One of them, Johnny Owen, right, called the Matchstick Man. He was so bad at boxing, he died after his last fight.
In the ring.
He slipped into a coma and died after.
Yeah.
But is that a good boxer?
So do you feel like Merthyr Tydfil is a place that celebrates failure?
Mediocrity.
Yeah.
Mediocrity. Idiocracy.
Yes.
That's what this town is becoming. Like the film Idiocracy by Mike Judge.
Brilliant film.
People are getting duller by the day. Look at AI in everybody's hand. Yeah, it's... This is a town
When did you feel like you'd made it? What was the point? I've talked about getting a record deal. You went to the Kerrang Awards, but when was it you feel, or did you not? Have you never been able to reflect? A lot of bands go on tour.
I guess we kind of did make it at some point, but I don't know the precise moment. I think like when we had a music video.
Yeah.
So we did a song called The Beijing Cocktail that we did a music for. I think that was our first music video. We recorded in Club Eva Bach. Ramesh Dodangoda from Longwave Studio shot it all on his like camera that he had at the time. And to see us on Kerrang and Scuzz and P-Rock and MTV2, I think that was the moment we were like, oh, this isn't all for nothing. Look, ma'am, I'm on TV. And then we ended up getting magazine covers. And then we ended up getting nominated. We got nominated for 4 Kerrang awards, and then we won a Kerrang award, which was called the Devotion Award, which I went up on stage drunk and said, "Thank you very much for giving us the being nominated 5 times and 1 fuck all award."
Amazing.
Because that's what it felt like. They were like, "Oh, pity these boys.
Not
They've been nominated
bitter at all.
They've been nominated the last 4 years and they've won fuck all. Give them a Devotion Award." That's basically like, oh, well done on hanging in there, boys. Can't believe you're still a band, to be honest.
Are you still trying to do this
Anyway,
thing? Yeah.
have this award, say some stuff. Fuck off, will you?
Yeah, don't come back next year
Please
because
don't
you're
come
eating
back.
catering and costing us money.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe like a music video, or there was a moment I was in Nottingham and we were supporting, I think we supported Lost Prophets on tour, and we were at Nottingham Rock City, and I'd walked into Nottingham and I went into a shoe shop and I went to buy some socks, and some girl come on and went, "Excuse me, are you?" And I went, "Yeah, I am." And she went, "Tom from McFly." And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm not." I was like, "Wait, if I say yes, can I have these socks cheaper?" She said no. So I said, "Oh, no, I'm not." So that was the first time I got recognised, and I wasn't recognised for me. But there was a moment I was like, "Oh, that's it, boys. We finally made..." Oh, I've been recognised as somebody else because I've got a protruding bottom jaw and blonde hair. But yeah, music videos and Kerrang magazine was the thing that made me feel like I'd made it, I guess.
Were you able to ever, in the moments, take a moment to reflect and step back and see how far you'd come? The fact that posters were coming out and you weren't the first band on the first stage at midday, you were now getting to be on the main stage, or you had more people singing your songs back to you, or at the end of the night you were like, "Oh shit guys, we sold 100 t-shirts." Were you able to see the way that you evolved and that you were really starting to...
To be honest, I think I had so much faith in my band's ability and my ability as a performer and their ability as performers that I thought I would be singing Children of the Night until I'm 95. Like, I thought we'd never split up. We will just go from strength to strength. We'll be a massive success story. And it didn't pan out that way. So, yeah, I was so dedicated to it that I never did any looking back because I was always trying to look to the future of what's next. So when it kind of fell apart, it was such a devastation to me that... Yeah, I just didn't expect it because I was all in. Like, both feet were firmly in the river, the Blackout, and I was trying my best to go forward and make it as big as possible.
Were you respectfully blinded? Were you able to take a step and see the cracks starting to form? Like, obviously, I've been in a band with 3 other people, and it never got really famous, but I could see the dynamic of me wanting something so badly, and at points just doing anything I could to carry them to go with me, because I could see their love was fading, and I just was doing anything I could to keep it going, because, oh my God, if you fall out of love with this, you're taking me with you.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me, basically. It came down to, in the end, basically everybody left the Blackout Army. I never said I want this to end. I never said I want to quit. I just went along with it, because we shot... we brought an EP out called Wolves, which is some of the Blackout's best ever work, but the majority of the people who were into our band never heard it, because they'd tuned out by then, because before that we did an album called Start the Party, which turns out to be the wrong move for a sad emo band from Wales to have an album called Start the Party where songs are slightly more upbeat. But when we brought Wolves out, we shot a video for Wolves in Bolton, and then Reese basically called a band meeting and said he wanted to basically step down later in the year. And so we came to the decision that we would all knock it on the head together. But I was so convinced that when the Wolves EP came out, that we were going to be back to where we were, that they couldn't deny it. And we'd be back making proper money again, because money kind of got low. But yeah, like I almost got blasé to it all, because I was expecting to do it forever. So when they told me they didn't want to do it anymore, it felt like Reese said, I can't really afford to carry on going like we are. I think I'm going to step back. And everybody said that. But what I heard is, Sean, we can't be in a band with you anymore. Like, you want to do this and none of us want to do it anymore. So I heard we're stringing this along for you for now. So yeah, I was kind of lost when we ended it. March 28th, 2015 was the last ever Blackout show then, before we came back in 2023. Sorry about that, everyone. But that was the night I met my partner, Jodie, who you've met.
Yeah.
So that's basically been like 11 years.
There's something very significant
on and
about
off.
being that same day. One door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
The fact that your band member turned around and gave you a bit of a heads up, did that taint it? Did it make all those gigs seem depressing in a way, because you saw the end? I think I'd rather just be like, right guys, tonight's my last gig, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I don't want it anymore. Saying to someone, in 6 months I'm going to break your heart and dump you.
No,
I think we should get divorced in a year's time. I'd be like, fucking hell, what?
But I think that was for me.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't for me, but I see it as that was for me to get as many gigs as we can in that time and do as much as we can in that time. But in my eyes, I always had that, they're not going to quit once the CP goes fucking super platinum, diamond, gold, fucking whatever the
outsells Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm bigger than Michael Jackson and Corey Feldman starts dancing like I am,
then you've made it.
Then I've made it. But I never, even after when I was told, right, we're ending, I was like, nah, we're not. We're gonna fucking be bigger than ever now, and you can't deny it. We'll just change members if we need to.
So when did the bubble burst? You're doing that last ever final gig. I know you were lucky enough then to meet your beautiful partner now, but going on stage that night, were you still delusional? Were you still thinking,
I knew at that point, like, tonight is the night, because like we had a huddle before. So basically, what we used to do was, bit tongue in cheek, we did it from almost day one. There was an old Merthyr football chant that we would do. We'd all huddle up together and we would sing, Merthyr boys, we are here, shag your women and we drink your beers with a la 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 la. Merthyr boys are big and strong, which is terrible. The melody,
fucking those
the
lyrics,
the rhyming's crap.
Merthyr boys are here.
Merthyr boys, we are here. Yeah. Shag your and we did that. And we like almost couldn't get through it. And then I was, we were all like kind of upset. And then if you look at the photos from those last gigs, you could swear somebody had just shot Bob's mother in front of him. Like, he's weeping. He is weeping. And then we all went backstage and wept. But yeah, it was then I was like, all right. It's like, because the EP came out, didn't get seen by as many people as I thought would see it and love it. We brought out Wolves in 2014, which we shot the video for. And then, it just kind of happened that we were ending. And then after that, then I had to try and find a job, which was very, very tough.
That must be a real head fuck, because you're not the one making the decision to leave. It's like a...
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean, we all don't want this anymore. We know you do.
Yeah.
But, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
We can't... We're not charity workers. It's time to put you down.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I don't mean to be brutal,
No,
but it's fucking...
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And, well, with the reunion...
You don't want to beg them, do you? You don't want to be like, please, guys, just do this for me. Come on.
With the reunion, part of me thinks that they did that to save me ending my life. But...
I'll come to the reunion, because
Yeah.
that comes with a nice story of doing Sappenin and using that as a platform to kind of get that magical spark again with the Blackout. But you're then actually waking up to yourself, probably telling yourself, I need to change the way my brain is wired, because I'm used to just writing songs. I'm used to singing, being with my brothers.
I'm not mentally capable of doing a normal job.
No.
A 9 to 5, I cannot. I am. Anybody who's met me, and people listening to this should have gathered by now, I am riddled with ADHD, and probably a slight bit of the I'm rizzed with the tiz as well. So between the tism and the ADHD, I cannot do 9 to 5, sitting at a desk, inputting stuff into spreadsheets. Spreadsheets terrify. Just seeing a spreadsheet terrifies me. So when the Blackout ended, I was like, right, what the fuck can I possibly do? And I was so lucky. There's 6 or 7 months after the Blackout ended, my friend Matthew Pritchard, formerly of Dirty Sanchez, he had opened up Sleep When You're Dead Tattoo and Barbers in Cardiff, and he was looking for somebody to be front of house manager. And I hit him up for that. I said, you're looking for a front of house manager? I'd be up for doing it. And he messaged me back going, what, really? And I was like, yeah, man, I've got a fucking job. I need a job. Like, so just at the right time, I ended up working at Sleep When You're Dead with Pritch. And then he opened a store in Swansea, so I went and started to kind of run that. And I did that for a little bit before starting the podcast. So I was so lucky to have had Pritch in my life by then. And for him to have offered me a job, and I'm forever grateful, and I love that man. So I'm so lucky that position was open, because I went, check this out, 2 weeks, so a week before we announced we were going on tour, we were splitting up. A week before we announced we were splitting up, we went and did a BBC Radio Wales acoustic session for a presenter there. And that presenter there turned to me at one point during the recording and said, have you ever thought about being a radio DJ? And I was like, I would love to. I said, is there any chance I can come and be like your apprentice? You don't have to pay me. I'll just make the teas while you teach me all of this. And they said, yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be great. Send me a message. We'll get underway. Week later, we announced we split up, right? So I messaged that radio presenter who we had done several favours for over the years when she needed the Blackout to do when they needed the Blackout to do stuff, we would do it for them.
Yes. That person.
Yeah, you're definitely going to work out who this
is.
The week we split up, I sent them a message saying, hi, I don't know if you've seen the Blackout split up, so now's as good a time as any, I guess, to get into trying to be a BBC DJ. And they never got back to me. And then I sent them a message every 3 weeks for 3 months, I think, and then they never ever got back to me. And then 2 weeks after we split up, I had a meeting with a promoter who I knew the previous year we had made £90,000 for, right? I went to him and said, "Is there any, have you got any openings at the promotions company? I'd love to get involved. I've got contacts and all this stuff." And he said to me, "What do you want to do in the company?" I said, "Well, I'll start as T-boy if I can end up being a promoter. I'll do whatever it takes. Let me show you I'm dedicated on building this up." And he said to me, "Oh, if you don't know what you want to do, I can't give you a job." And everybody in the music industry felt like they disappeared. They did that Homer Simpson meme, into the bush.
Yeah. Slowly
Backwards,
reversing
away from
back
me.
in.
Like, "Oh, there's Sean. I better go." Even though he's just made me fucking 90 grand. Like,
oh, man.
the amount of people we helped out who had suddenly disappeared from the music scene was unbelievable. So, in the end, the podcast came about because I was looking for something extra to do. Podcasts had just started kind of taking off. And
did you make the move to Morgan, or did he come to you? I never know how the
Yeah,
start of Sappenin happened.
Morgan Richards was working for Radio Cardiff at the time, and he'd interviewed the Blackout a bunch of times. So I thought he had all of the gear and all of the idea. And then I hit him up and said, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. Do you want to be involved? And he said yes. So we had the first meeting, and it was at that first meeting I found out he didn't have any of the gear or any of the idea. So we basically had to find out how we could possibly record podcasts. And as we were talking about prior to us starting this, our first Slam Dunk Festival, we went with a 12-channel mixing desk.
Which is fucking huge. For listeners out there, this is not your little tiny Zoom box.
And Morgan's laptop that we didn't know if it would turn on. And so basically I just went to Morgan. I said, I want to start a podcast. It probably won't last many episodes, but I've got enough contacts that I reckon we could talk shit to a few people, then we'll probably get cancelled, and then it'll be over. And now we've put one out every Friday since 2018. So fair play to us, especially Morgan. He does a lot of the work.
Did you think that was going to be a full-time job? Did you think to yourself, because obviously this is 8 years ago, people don't understand, and because I do Mark and Me, people are like, you're so lucky to be able to get to do this, and you're so lucky you get to interview these people, but no one understands it takes a hell of a lot of work. It takes effort, scheduling, recording, going and getting the podcast, promoting it, marketing it. Did you just think at that point you just wanted to get as many of your friends as you could to talk about music?
Well, that was it. Yeah.
Was that it?
It was just, let's throw some shit at the podcast wall and see if any of this sticks, and if it does, we'll carry on from there. If it doesn't, fair enough. I'll have to find something else to do. I'm kind of glad it worked out. Is it working out? I guess it is working out. We're still doing it. Money isn't great with podcasts, so that's the problem. Unless you have 1 million trillion listeners every week.
And adverts all the way through.
You're not making much money advert-wise, which is why we had to start a Patreon, which is amazing because it's built a brilliant, brilliant community of people who some have fallen in love and got married. Some of them made their best friends. There's people in the group who were pretty lonely individuals who now have a team with them that they all go to gigs together. So if it's not making us money, the best thing that's come out of the Patreon is the community we've made and the beautiful humans who are in that.
Did you do what I do and get yourself a list of the dream guests?
No.
Not even a mental one or one on your phone? Just like, who, if we could get them, I would love, and certain... Did you never have this like go-to list?
See, I think it's the madness in me. I think almost anybody is attainable. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would be a dream guest.
Mike Patton?
I mean, the idea of Mike Patton is a great idea, but I've met him. I met him once in Australia. The Blackout were on stage, and we're on stage doing our song Higher and Higher, and in the middle there's a rap section that a guy called Hyro the Hero used to do. Well, I would do it live if Hyro wasn't there. And just before that section came in, I looked over to my right, and my tour manager, Luke, at the time...
I know this story, it's brilliant.
...said, Patton's over there. Patton's over there. He did that voice. You know that voice where you're trying
want to be quiet, but you're still loud. Yeah.
Patton's over there. So he pointed at Patton, who's on the left-hand side of the stage. So I looked, and I saw him, and I went, fuck, I got to go meet them. So I was just about to do the rap section, so I run over to Mike Patton, didn't plan anything to say, ran up to him and went, all right, I love you. Oh, fuck, I told you I loved you. I gotta go. You're in the band. I'm in the band you're watching. And he said, yeah, I know. And then I went back on stage, finished the set, looked over to my left, and Mike Patton was gone. But the crazy thing about that is we were still on tour together for another 10 days, and all the bands chartered the same flights. I didn't see Mike Patton again for the next 10 days, which makes me believe that Mike Patton must have seen me and hid every time.
Keep me away from that nutter.
And the thing is, we've had Dave Lombardo from Slayer and Dead Rabbits. Is it Dead Rabbits or Dead Cross? Dead Cross, isn't it?
Empire State Bastard and all that.
And so, yeah, he's in a band with Mike Patton. So I told Dave Lombardo from Slayer that story. And he told me, oh, Michael probably remember that. He remembers everything. So that's probably why we haven't had Mike Patton on and may never have Mike Patton on, is because I told him I loved him.
But you did it in the good place. Like,
oh, if I was him, I would have been laughing forever. But... I don't know, perhaps he finds it weird. And he probably gets loads of vocalists telling him they love him because he's the bestest.
So with Sappenin, you guys have obviously made a great name for yourself. When you go to festivals now, it's BBC, Kerrang, Sappenin.
Rock Sound.
Yeah. Rock Sound, Mark and Me. But it's nice. It's you must have been really fucking... There's a moment you can take a step back and go, Jesus, we've had... I mean, you've had Serge on the podcast.
Yeah.
You've had Biffy Clyro.
Yeah.
You know, literally some of your idols. Like, absolutely mind-blowing.
Super, super lucky.
It's never luck, dude. I
think we're the number one McFly podcast in the world. I think we've done
every member.
Yeah, we've done every member and some multiple times as well.
And Busted, isn't it? Have you had all
Busted. We've done a bunch of Busted. Yeah,
but you've talked to your idols as well. Like, you've actually got to talk to your heroes and people that made you want to pick up a microphone.
I've met all my musical heroes. People say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah,
I have met all my musical heroes, and they've all been great. So meet your heroes, people.
Who's your favourite? Who's the one where you were like, "Fuck"? Was it Fred Durst?
It was either Fred Durst, who I expected him to be a shit to us because you hear terrible things about bands, but he was absolutely fucking fantastic to us. They couldn't have treated us nicer. And Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw is a massive, massive influence of mine. Everything, lyrics, vocals, fashion. Like, he played a big part in a lot of things I like. So getting to have him on the podcast was a fucking real treat. And yeah, like, I can call some of my heroes friends now, and that's fucking... Like, me and Daryl Palumbo text now and again, which is nuts. Like, he's one of my main influences.
Who's left for you? Because you do get it, even though you might not have a list. Is it Fred Durst? Is there someone that you'd be like, I feel like I've done everything I want to do now?
I'd love Fred Durst on a podcast. I'd love Mike Patton on a podcast. I'd love The Rock on the podcast. I'd like Stone Cold Steve Austin on the podcast. I'd like Shawn Michaels on the podcast. It's just a wrestling theme going on.
I was going to say, CM Punk.
Fuck CM Punk. Fuck Phil. He's a cancer. Keep him away from me. Ailey Williams. I'd love Ailey Williams on my podcast because she told an incorrect story on Toby Morse's podcast. About the first time she heard Refused. She said somebody else showed it to her, and that's not true. The Blackout showed her Refused, and then she ended up putting a Refused lyric in one of the songs on riot called Born for This. Yeah, I think it's called Born for This. We want the airwaves back. She nicked that from Refused that I showed her for the first time, and then she put it in her song. And then she told me years later when we supported them at Islington Academy, she said, "Oh, there's a lyric, we want the airwaves back, in our song Born for This," and that's in there due to the time that we watched the Refused DVD together, because we did Paramore's first ever UK tour with them.
See, that's something to boast about.
I forget these
that's
things.
awesome.
I forget these things that didn't seem like a big thing at the time. There was 4 bands and it was rotating headline, right? So it was Paramore, the Blackout, a band called Drive-By, and a band called Classic Case. And it was revolving headliner because it was Taste of Chaos Presents. If you remember Taste of Chaos Festival.
Yeah, unbelievable.
After 2 dates, we knew Paramore were the headliners because we were like, boys, nobody can go on after this Paramore because all of the girls in the venue leave. So they have to go on last. So we get to play in front of a couple of 100 people. And they were absolutely fucking fantastic. They were lovely kids. She was 16 at the time, 15 or 16 at the time. She had her parents out with her. And they would all, they do a little Christian prayer circle before they go on, which was nice. But yeah, we got to tour with them. I'd love her on the podcast because she's fucking great, and we got on super, super well on tour. Who else is there? Who else would I like on the podcast? Eminem. I mean, aim for the stars, innit? Snoop D-O-G-G.
Have you had anyone on the podcast that's disappointed?
Oh.
And that isn't to try and cause
any
controversy, but you were like, this is going to be incredible. I can't believe we got them. And then you're just like, oh, man.
Yeah. So there was a band, we were at Download Festival, and if we're at a festival, we do a festival special, which is a bunch of 10-minute quick chats with the bands. And then if we can do half hour to an hour with a band, we'll try and make a full episode out of it. So we were at Download Festival, and we were waiting on a band that we had 40 minutes with. And they came to us. Obviously, I understand now, and I understood then, that they'd been doing press all morning. So I understand they were already fed up of, are you looking forward to playing today? What's your favourite song to play? All the fucking media nonsense. Because I think both my podcast and your podcast, we look a bit deeper.
Yeah.
And it's not your standard boring questions the bands are fed up of talking about. So we had a singer of a band come over to us. I won't name the band right now, but I will give a clue for you to go and find out who it is. I believe it's our download special for either 2019 or 2020. It starts. So basically,
it'll be 2019 because 2020 was COVID. So
okay,
it wasn't
cool.
a festival.
All right. 2019. So basically, beforehand, we used to say, is there anything you don't want? If there's anything you don't want to talk about, you can either tell us now or let us know after, and we'll cut it out if it's, if you don't want it, because we don't want to piss people off. So I said, is there anything you don't want to talk about? And this guy said, yeah, I don't want to talk about his band name. He said, I don't want to talk about my band, music, or the Download Festival, right?
Wow.
But he said it in a joking way. It was tongue-in-cheek. But we started the chat, and they were giving us one-word answers, and they did not. There was the singer and another member of the band, and they give us one-word answers and flippant kind of answers to the point where we got 12 minutes in, and I said, all right. Anyway, where can people find you?
Wow.
And the singer said, just Google our band name. And I said, all right, thanks. And we never put that episode out, but we used the clip of him saying, I don't want to talk about, insert band name, I don't want to talk about music, and I don't want to talk about Download Festival on the beginning of our Download 2019 special. So it just says that, and they never get mentioned ever again.
Did the management come up to you afterwards and be like, I thought we scheduled 40 minutes, lads, or
no,
the usual?
No. and I'm fine with that because
Fuck 'em.
yeah. The crazy thing was, it's not like we didn't open with like what's your favourite song, but like we opened with, boys, I found your band from one of my favourite films of all time. What was it like being in that film?
Another clue.
Another clue.
How do you spell the film title again?
Come
on.
Base. Anyway, so I said, "Oh, you were in this film, one of my favourite films of all time. How was it being in that?" And I should have known from this first answer. And the singer went, "Yeah, it was all right. We had a single out at the time that didn't do as well as the 2 songs in the film." And I thought, "Oh, did you know that only what 3 singles doing okay? But 2 of them just happened to get massive because you're in the fucking giant fucking cult film. Oh, you poor baby. Shave them sideburns and get them trumpets out of your band." It was like he woke up and he heard what band he was in. That's what it felt like to me. So, yeah. And the thing is, they're a comedy fucking act. So the fact there's no sense of humour whatsoever from them, I think that pissed me off more than anything. I was like, how can you be serious, bro? You literally got giant sideburns and fucking trombones. Grow up.
Clue number 3.
Clue number 9.
Yes.
Fucking hell. So yeah, the answer is yes. We've had at least one.
Disappointing moment.
One disappointing moment.
That's not bad though, is it? Nearly 400 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you done anywhere that's been recorded and you couldn't put it out because they said something that had to... I've had one guest where they... I've got to not fuck myself over here. I had a film director on.
Yeah.
And he had recorded the interview. It went quite well. And then for some reason, he decided to go on Twitter and say that abortions should be completely banned and that Donald Trump is the best thing that's ever happened to America.
Oh,
and during the interview, dude, he never mentioned once that he loved Trump or his right wing. And it came out of nowhere. And then he was trending on Twitter. And I thought, oh, great, he's trending. I can get my episode out now and it'll get a bit of traffic. Then clicked on his profile and I went to the management and said, I am not putting somebody on who's just said this to all the women in the world. And they went, but you've got to. You've recorded it now. And he doesn't mention it on the podcast. And I said, I'm not fucking releasing it. I am not throwing myself under because I do not agree with what he said.
Yeah.
And they were furious and have never worked with that agency again.
Good on you, bud.
Yeah.
Nice one.
But
I like that. Yeah, we had one once that we didn't realise said something massively offensive until a couple of hours before it was meant to be released. So we listened back, found the bit, chopped it up, and put it out just because we didn't have any other banked episodes, so we couldn't put anything else together. But yeah, we put it out, and then we contacted the management, and we were like, you shouldn't let this fella do podcasts on his own, because he's going to ruin his own fucking legacy, the mad fucker. And the crazy thing is, we had such a good time with him on the chat that somehow we missed him saying one of the craziest sentences I've ever heard out of a fucking living musician's mouth. And it was only when Morgan was listening back to editing it did we realise what he said, and then we had to cut that out. And then, yeah, we got in touch with his management. We were like, don't let him do interviews on his own again, because he said this. And rather than get back to us going, oh, thank you so much for not ruining his career and taking all of our income forever, they just ignored it, which is bonkers to me. Like, so I won't name the band, but we won't be having him on again, obviously, because he said some vile shit. But it wasn't. Yeah, but it's crazy. It's like 99.999% of the interview was jolly and fun. He slips one fucking mad sentence in, and you're like, oh, my opinion's completely changing here, you fucking bell end.
Isn't it good that Morgan found that during the edit?
Oh. Bro, if we hadn't, we'd have been finished 3 years ago.
Clue number 2.
Clue number 2 for that guess.
It was a band. It was 3 years ago. And yeah, it still went out. If you hear an obvious edit in that episode,
yeah,
let us on a postcard. Yeah.
How'd you get into rock and roll?
Jazz
club.
Yes, I know.
Jazz club.
Yes.
What?
That's
That's a very abrupt answer. That seems to start halfway through a sentence. Yeah, it does, yeah. What a prick.
Is it true that you really went with the intentions of starting Sappenin as a major tool to try and get the Blackout to reform?
I
heard that about you.
Yeah, I thought it may help, like, because I knew the boys didn't hate the Blackout. We couldn't afford to do it anymore. And if we couldn't afford to do it, we couldn't give it the time it deserved, and therefore we would have all grown to hate it, I think. So yeah, we got a couple of episodes in, and people were like, "Oh, you should get a band back together." And I was like, "Band only split up 2.5 years ago." Like, what? And then the more we talked to people, and some of the bands started listening to my podcast, I think the more the idea kind of seeped into them, and they realised, oh yeah, we can do it in a more of a fun way. Just do it every now and again. Don't have to record any new music or worry about labels. Because basically a lot of the shit, because it wasn't just that we couldn't afford it, we were sick to death of the music industry, and being fucked about by booking agents or promoters or managers or other bands just, it was getting so bitchy and like shitty that it just made us not want to do it anymore. So then when the boys listened to the podcasts and stuff and realised, oh, we could do this in kind of a fun way, and it does mean a lot to other people. Like, it wasn't just us six in the end. Like, we had such a brilliant audience and amazing people liked our band that we felt like we owed it to them to do more. So yeah, the podcast, well, it was a way for me to get back out there, show I'm still alive, which a lot of people would be gutted with, and potentially get myself in maybe another musical act, or just do something where I was like, I'm here, I'm available for whatever you want to do. So yeah, it was kind of just to put me out there, and one of the lucky things that came from it was the Blackout getting back together.
Without obviously going into every detail, when was the moment it became a reality? Did you have a phone call? Did you all jump on Zoom? Did you have to kind of speak to one member, get his buy-in, then move on to the next and get his buy-in, so you had a bit more weight to it, not just, oh, Sean wants to fucking live in the past again?
I think, well, I know Bob was the last one back, or to agree to do the Blackout.
Yeah.
Because we were doing Raiders as well at the time. We'd started Raiders, a new project, with my friend Chris and my friend Ryan. So we started that. So Bob was kind of like, is there any point in us doing the Blackout again? Because we've started this new band. But also, Bob really mourned the Blackout, like proper, was really depressed when it ended. Because we just spent 10 to 15 years being Bob from the Blackout. Do you know what I mean? So like I was Sean from the Blackout, and then when that went, you're Sean and you're just Bob. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Bob really mourned it. It really hit Bob hard as well. So he was kind of like the last one to agree. But I think we had a text, because we had a WhatsApp group. We've had a WhatsApp group since the band started, or since we ever got WhatsApp, I guess. Yeah, who mentioned it? Somebody, I can't remember who brought it up, but I remember Matthew saying, if we're going to do any more Blackout stuff, the sooner we do it, the better, because none of us are getting any younger. And some people who've liked our band have passed since then as well. So if we're going to do it, why not give it a try? So they said at the beginning of 2023 they'd be up for doing more. So originally I'd had a phone call. We rehearsed before I went and talked to any promoters, just to see if we could still do it.
And if the spark was there, because you don't want to be doing it if it feels fake.
Yeah. And the muscle memory was amazing. Like, literally, I was looking at Gavin and I was like, I don't know the lyrics to the first posters coming up. This is how it's gonna be. What the fuck? Where did that come from? Oh yeah, fucking 15 years of singing the same song every night. So yeah, before we announced it, I remember Kids in Glass Houses got announced for Slam Dunk Festival. Had an amazing reception, and then the day after they got announced, the promoter from Slam Dunk phoned me up and said, "Hi, have you seen this Kids in Glass Houses virality that's happened with them announcing they come back together? What would it take for me to get the Blackout back together?" And I said, "Oh, we rehearsed yesterday." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "We rehearsed yesterday for the first time since."
That's wild, man.
So he originally said that we could come back on Slam Dunk 2023. And then we had an email then saying that some people didn't think it was a good idea to do 2 Welsh bands reunions on the same show. So
That's
we
ridiculous,
were
isn't
put
it?
aside as Kids in Glass Houses already announced. So then I emailed Andy Coppin of Live Nation, who was the head
The man
booker
of Download. Yeah.
and I said, "Oh, the Blackout have been rehearsing." He said, "Awesome, would you like to play the Avalanche stage of Download?" And I said, "Fucking right we would," and he pulled his arm off. And then so we came back in 2023, Download. Well, actually, I emailed Andy after we got announced for Download, because a leaked poster came out for Download, see?
It did.
And people didn't believe it was the real one because it said the Blackout on it. And I was like,
It came out about a week before, didn't it?
I was like, we are useful. Fucking hell, the fact that we're on this lineup is actually useful, because people don't believe it because we're currently not a band, they think. And so yeah, I ended up emailing Andy Coppin to ask him if we could do a warm-up show in Merthyr Tydfil. And we did one in the Red House, which sold out in 50 seconds, I believe.
It was under a minute, wasn't it? Because I remember I'm sure you texted me saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a bit nervous. Like, I wonder if people still give a shit.
Yeah, well, I think that all the time.
And then a minute had gone and you'd sold out.
I'm kind of in between. Like, I'm the most positive one in the Blackout when it comes to this stuff. Like, because I'm still in the music industry in some sense, I know there's a want for us, whereas the other 5 are so out of the loop that they don't know if anyone gives a shit anymore. So, yeah, literally when that Red House show went on sale, Gavin sent a text to the main band chat saying, "Hey boys, I had a dream last night, we're going to really struggle to sell these tickets." And I said, "Right, well, it's on sale." And literally a minute later, I was like, "Right, it's sold out, boys." And we couldn't believe it. So yeah, we got to perform at the Red House, and then we did the Avalanche stage at Download, which was absolutely rammed tent. And if I had realised now how far away the Avalanche tent is from the main stage and the second stage and every other fucking stage in Download, I would have got off the front of that stage and shook everyone's hand for coming to see us. Because to me, that stage felt like it was closer to Slam Dunk than it was Download. And it was on Download. But amazing return. Never felt that love like that before in that tent. And I'd previously been a brown-haired lad since the end of the Blackout. So I decided to dye my hair blonde. And the amount of people who went crazy because I dyed my hair blonde was wild.
Were you trying to keep it offline? So did you try and make sure that people hadn't seen you?
I dyed it on the Tuesday, but then I had to go to Download on the Wednesday to DJ. So there was a Blackout DJ set. So I had a DJ with a hoodie on, pulled up, sunglasses and a hat. I was sweating on stage, right, at that Dogtooth stage. Was it the Dogtooth? Whichever the big one is in the camping area. I did all of that. I did all of Thursday day in a hoodie. It was boiling as well. And then, yeah, just to unveil on stage that I had blonde hair. It sounds so daft, and people are going to be listening to this going, why the fuck do people... I don't know why people care, but they genuinely... It was just nostalgia, wasn't it?
It's pure nostalgia.
People were like,
it's a trip down memory lane.
The band are back.
And so's the
and
look.
That's back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what I remember.
And you've kept that up to today.
And I'm still fucking blonde today. So...
Were you nervous?
I've never been nervous in my life going on stage.
Not even to the Download big fucking shit people have turned up, the tents rammed.
Get me on there.
Yeah.
Get me on it now. Do you know what? The catalyst for me wanting to do more music, right? Because after the Blackout disbanded, I genuinely, there wasn't many bands that I give a fuck about seeing live anymore, because, how am I going to say this? That sound like a right twat. I'm a great frontman, right? I'd say entertain. Oh, I'm going to sound like Ricky Gervais and I in the office.
First
A
singer,
boss
second
first.
time an entertainer, yeah.
I'm a fantastic entertainer.
Yes.
So I want as long as I can possibly have on any stage ever. So I'd kind of fallen out of love with music, and then me and my partner Jodie went to see a band in Swansea, who are a band who had been about longer than the Blackout. But yeah, we went to go see them because she really loved them. And I went there, and there was about 70 people in the room, between 40 and 70 people in the room. And I thought, if I went up there now and just took the microphone, I don't know any of the words to any of these songs, but I could make this a more interesting gig. Like, I'd make this more fun. I'd just run about screaming, and it would be more interesting, and people would be going mad. And that was when I was like, I need to be on stage. Like, I need to be doing this again. I need to throw myself about. So yeah, I've never really had nerves, strangely. And if I have, it's because I've been guesting with other bands, and they're on in-ears, and I haven't got any in-ear monitors. So that's probably...
You've been on stage with The Used, like Burt McCracken's a fucking legend. I just can't imagine you just being like, I'm fine, I'll go on stage, I'm not nervous.
Yeah,
on stage with Fred Durst.
I can go from...
It's wild.
We could record now, and I could go on stage in front of... Well, we did... The Blackout did main stage Reading multiple times. Reading and Leeds multiple times.
Yeah.
We were like almost halfway up at one point. Like, middle of the day, massive crowd. Like, at one point, when we opened the Reading main stage, we were told that was the biggest ever opening crowd they'd ever had. Obviously, it's probably changed and we've lost that since then, but at the time, that was such an honour. And yeah, I can walk on in front of anyone. And
I saw you at, you did Download, and obviously Slam Dunk were not willing to have two Welsh comebacks in the same year.
Silly I was, so silly.
But the following year, you did do Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I saw you back, because I was doing press at Download. And I had a tear in my eye, genuinely, because A, you're a friend and I was so happy for you, but I saw how much it meant to you. And being someone as a punter who goes to a festival, or even as a media outlet, to watch bands, you can see who's just going through the motions.
Yeah.
So when I've seen, and I'm not getting in trouble here, when I went to see System of a Down at Download, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen, because I could see they were just getting a paycheck, they were going on, there was no talk to the crowd, not even good evening, we're System of a Down, or thank you for, Download, nothing. And they all looked bored. They all looked really bored. When I went to Slam Dunk, I saw you come on, dude, and the way you were standing at the front rail and just looking out, I honestly wanted to cry, because I was just so happy for you, because you just seemed like you'd been given every toy that you could ever ask for. Yep. Again.
Well, that's what it was, yeah. That was literally, Dream Part 2, is it?
Yeah.
Like, it was...
It wasn't over.
Yeah. And it was, people have come to see us. Even if it's like our first performance as 10-minute preview, maybe they come to see how shit we're going to be. It doesn't matter. I am going to entertain the bollocks off these people. You can come and see my band, right? And you might hate the music. But if you don't like the banter in between, you are soulless. Like, we're brilliant. Like, this is the thing. And for years, I would go and be self-deprecating and all this shit.
But genuinely, like I was saying earlier, when the band finished, I went off music because the only frontmen I enjoyed watching were Frank Carter of Gallows, who was no longer in Gallows, and Jason Allen Butler of Let Live, who was no longer in Let Live at the time. I think he was just about to do Fever. But that wasn't out yet. So, to me, I was like, I don't want to go and see frontmen just standing there. I want to see I want chaos. From my band, I wanted what I love to see, which is, I'm going to go and see this band. Fuck knows what's going to happen. They could all end up on fire. He's going to be sick into his own eyes. He's going to jump in a bin. He's going to pull the drum kit. That's what I loved. So for me, when it felt like there was nobody else, I was just like, oh, music's almost boring now. And then also around that time is when tracks and fucking bands miming and stuff like that started to become popular. So then instantly I'd become like an old man that was like, oh,
Back in my day,
you'd fucking practice and be a great live band, and now fucking one of you's a computer whiz and the other 4 backing dancers with instruments. That's what it feels like to me now. But I know people are going to be like, yeah, but it all helps with the performance. To me, you're losing some of the soul of it.
It's not authentic anymore. If a guitar cuts out, I love that.
Yeah,
I love someone fluffing the notes.
I would rather see a singer hit bad notes than hear the CD vocal.
Yeah,
The fact they're calling a CD vocal is just told everybody I'm an old man. I'm all about, Raiders played one of our last shows. We had a band support us, right, who spent an hour and a half sound checking because they couldn't get their rig and their tracks to work. So they went on and they were like, oh, this is the first time we've played Raw, they called it, in a year or 6 years. I can't remember. They just said the first time we've played Raw. And it sounded dreadful. And I was like, yeah, it sounds dreadful because you haven't rehearsed without the tracks and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I know it's going that way, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And I sound like an old man complaining about it.
No, it's important.
But to me, it feels like we're slowly gutting music to the point where we're going to have AI artists soon on festivals, which is just somebody puts up a projection of an animated boy or girl or non-binary, whatever. I'm terrified of the future.
Nice depressing end to the podcast here.
Buy your ticket now we haven't started yet.
Blackout on tour now with the AI version of Sean.
I mean, if I get paid for it.
So we are actually in a place right now where we can talk about the Blackout as a current band.
Yes.
Because you've just announced, again, probably a moment where you were thinking, I hope people are still interested. 35 seconds, was it? It's sold out?
Oh, yeah, we announced a show for August the 21st in a place apparently it's called Culture Lab, but it's Cult VR Lab.
Nice.
And what it is I found where we rehearse in Penarth Road, a place called Music Box, where most of the Welsh bands rehearse. About 200 yards away from there is this Culture Lab, where inside it's got a dome inside the building that you can project on. Basically, it's the Las Vegas Sphere.
I was going to say, is this the Severe, but in Merthyr Tydfil?
No, it's Cardiff.
Cardiff,
It's the Las Vegas Sphere for £500,
Yes.
right? It's that Alan Partridge joke. Puff, puff, bang. I want a Led Zeppelin concert. Pink Floyd concert for £500. It's a dome in there where you can project on the ceiling. And because we're doing the 15th anniversary of our album Hope, we're going to put some visuals from that up on this thing. Up on this roof. So we put that on sale and it sold out in 2 minutes, I think. But it is nice to do something futuristic when the last 2 venues we technically played were Cardiff Castle and Chepstow Castle. So we've gone from medieval to very far in the future with this thing. And I am also hoping to announce very, very soon 3 dates in December for the Blackout to do London, Birmingham and Manchester. That's an exclusive on Mark and Me.
Wow.
So it hasn't even been mentioned on the Sappenin.
When's that news going to break?
I have
This
no
episode will go
idea.
out in
I'm
about
getting
a week and a half.
I'm getting artwork made at the moment. It's a couple of weeks yet, I think.
That's good. So it's an exclusive.
Yeah, that's an exclusive.
You're not going to get in trouble.
With who?
I don't
Me?
know. Yeah, with yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, what are you
can't go
fucking
around
doing?
You can't go around spoiling where we're playing. Says who? Yeah. No, I can't
Brilliant.
get in trouble.
That's
It's me.
great news.
It's me. Yeah.
So all those people that missed out in 1 minute of ticket sales
Yeah.
can come and see you in a bigger venue.
Yeah. Slightly bigger venue.
Will you do the visuals?
No.
Ah,
I know that sounds disappointing, but when you realise how much that venue is costing us, and we have to get bespoke material made for the fucking dome, it's costing us so much that we couldn't tour with that. So we're doing smaller venues than I think a lot of people would maybe expect us to do in December, but we just want to keep them teeny and testy. We want to keep them tight and just have that feeling of people in our faces again, because as good as it is to be on a massive stage with thousands of people there, I like the ability to see eyes and see into souls and get close to people and scare people and make people laugh. And
is
whatever.
Raiders gone now? Is that official? I kept seeing stuff on Instagram like, you want to come to this, it might be one of our last shows, but it was never like announced that this is it.
It's done.
Done.
Yeah, it's done. Our drummer got arthritis really bad in his elbow. He had a skating accident when he was a kid. So the last couple of Raider shows we did, basically we did like a Saturday night in Bridport or in somewhere down the south of England, and we do that on a Saturday, and then his body would be so fucked from the gig that he couldn't go to work for 4 or 5 days because he was in agony. So, he's got a wife and kids and a mortgage to
Got to
pay.
get the right balance there, haven't you?
So, yeah, we need him to work so he can keep his family aloft. So, yeah, we just decided to knock it on the head. I know Bob wants to chat about it all with me, but I can't be asked. Basically, I hate social media now so much that I don't. Whoever comes into our band to play drums and bass would have to be in charge of the social medias, because I don't want to do it at all anymore. I want to stay away from social media as much as I possibly can, even though social media and MySpace made me who I am and what I am today, because I did very well on MySpace to get my band seen and out to the world via MySpace. So other than MySpace, all the sites in the world can fuck off.
Any new music from Blackout when you're rehearsing? Do
The
you try
Blackout, Mark.
The Blackout?
You wouldn't call him Day, would you? Or Liquor. Or Over Down.
Yeah.
Any more music? Serge, any more music coming from Over Down?
Yes. The Blackout.
The Blackout.
Surely, because you sent me a photo the other day of you at rehearsal, and I thought, I wonder if they're trying new riffs or
No.
ideas.
Nope.
You must be still feeling creative.
I mean, we're all creative, yeah, but we don't think people want to come to our shows, so they're not going to want to hear new music.
But then you sell out a venue in a minute, and
But
it
then
must
they
be
haven't
like,
heard our last music, so
Yeah.
go and have a listen to that. Like, a Wolves EP is one of the best things the Blackout have ever done, and honestly, there's fucking... One of the songs was so good on there, right, that it went on to be stolen by a band and then become their biggest song, and now they might be Britain's biggest ever metal band, like, so...
clue number one.
Clue number one.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a great EP. Go and check it out. Wolves by the Blackout. We put out ourselves. If any film directors or music supervisors for anything listening to this, we own all the rights. I give you the rights to use any of those songs for whatever you fucking want, and you don't have to pay us. How's that?
So what do you do now with the gap of the Blackout that's left in your heart? Because it's kind of filled again because you've got these 3 dates coming up in December.
Yeah.
Where are you at? What you haven't got, obviously, Raiders. So where's that energy and creativity and outlet going?
I've been talking to a couple of people about collaborating on some stuff.
I've recently recorded a vocal for a band called Fangs Out from Birmingham.
Great band.
Who, this is their best song. It's such a good song that several times on the way up to record, I went, boys, are you sure you want me on this? Because this could be a really good one for you if it gets in front of the right people. So I recorded a vocal with Fangs Out, which I believe is called Dirt. That'll be coming out. I'm also in talks with my friend Stephen Battelle from Lost Alone about recording something together. I've also, funnily enough, I received 2 tracks this morning from my friend who's a drummer from South Wales about some tracks. And what else have I got going on? And then me and my friend Matt Attard from a band called Junior. He's just recently written songs for Jimin from BTS, the Korean lads. And yeah, they brought an album out and it sold 260,000 copies the first week. So my friend, me and him are on about writing some crazy heavy stuff and see what happens. So yeah, there's always stuff, but to be honest, I'm not as desperate to do performing in a band as I once was. I love it and I will do it at every opportunity I fucking get, but I'm not. Basically, with the Blackout coming back, I had to manage the band and book everything.
Yeah.
And it reminded me kind of why we split up in the first place, is because...
Did it feel like work?
Oh, it was work.
Yeah.
It was complete work.
Yeah.
Especially to someone with ADHD.
Yeah.
Where writing anything down feels like work. It was so time consuming. And after our Chepstow Castle gig, right, I had so many problems with the promoter that week of that gig that we nearly pulled that gig because he was so all over the fucking shop. Things we'd been promised weren't delivered. Fuck it, we turned up and security barriers weren't the proper ones we asked for, even though we were promised them. They were fucking fences zip tied together. And yeah, it put such a fucking downer on it that I was like, I love being on stage. That hour and a half is literally the best feeling in the world. It's where I feel most like me. It's where I'm happiest. But all the other shit that goes with it is so tedious and crap and just not fun. All I want to do is have fun with my 5 friends and people who want to come and see us. That's it. I don't care about business. I don't want any of the other shit. I don't want to be fucked about. I don't want to be scammed. I don't want fucking finding out of promoters there's added costs that were just, additional cost, 500 quid. What's that for? I can't tell you. Well, take it off then. Like, it's the fact that people are still, like, we came back and we were like, look, we'll give you this gig as a promoter. We'll give you this gig. We know you're going to make thousands of pounds off this. And to still take the piss, like, it's got a little bit too boring for me now. So I think any day now I'm going to have to start my stand-up stuff. Because I'm wasting time, like, I'm wasting time.
Let's talk about your comedy. You did a couple of nights I saw, probably in the last couple of years. It might be even longer now, which will make me feel... How's that? Because you're obviously, in your head, born to entertain, be on stage, even when we were talking about the school play, which we're sat in the grounds of today.
Yeah. Basically, I've always thought I was funny. And known I was funny. So I've always wanted to try stand-up. But then it turns out one of the Blackout and Kids in Glass Houses fans, her name is Vic Slayton. She's a stand-up comedian. And she was a fan of both of our bands. And she contacted me one day to say, would you be up for doing my comedy panel show? Because I think you're very funny. And I was like, I think I'm very funny to her. And she was like, yeah, you should do stand-up. And she has literally been pushing me now probably for 5 years to try and do stand-up. But I'm so, like I said, riddled with ADHD that the idea of writing anything down instantly becomes, is this funny now? Or is this just work that I'm writing down? And I've been to therapy for all of this nonsense as well, and still can't really work it out. But yeah, my friend Vix is pushing me to do it, so I'm going to have to do it at some point. Funnily enough, she played in Cardiff last night as we're recording this, and originally she asked me to do 10 minutes to open up, but I shit myself and decided against it. But yeah, it's going to have to happen at some point, because I'm seeing comedians now who are fucking multi-millionaires who are absolutely fucking shit and just say the most obvious, not even obvious, like the most
cliche?
Yeah,
Easy?
like cliche,
Yeah.
easy, low-hanging fruit, like punching down nonsense. Like anybody who makes a
Yeah.
fucking joke involving the word trans, get in the fire.
Yeah,
Have they not had enough?
I know.
You fucking idiots. Like, this whole manosphere fucking nonsense as well, and seeing all the comedians doing well on it, it's making me sick. Like, Tony Hinchcliffe, how?
Yeah.
How the fuck does that slimy scumbag lizard have a fucking job? Like, ugh.
Thank you for listening to Mark and Me, the final episode where we're
Yeah.
taken down.
We'll be right back.
Yes,
Um,
we won't. That's the problem. Good to
Um,
end on 500, I
I mean,
suppose.
you could bleep that. You could bleep
No,
his
no,
name.
no,
but he's a
it's good.
fucking shithead. And
Yeah.
it's all low-hanging fruit. It's all the, easiest thing you can say.
Awful,
It's
yeah.
racist, or it's anti-trans, or it's fucking...
There's no thought in it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
bollocks. Like, it's just shit. And
Isn't it interesting, though?
I
You
think I
said
could
to
do it.
me, you've never been scared. You're never nervous. You go on stage. You just want to do it. But then when it's not music and it's comedy, you're
but then it's
shy.
not- yeah, but it's not nerves. Because again, if you said to me, "Oh, the comedy stage, you got to go on and do 5 minutes now," I'd
You'd do
walk
it.
up here
Yeah.
and I'd start talking, and it would be funny.
Yes.
I don't know what I talk about, but this is it. I don't know what I talk about.
Spontaneous,
And
yeah.
the more I write it down and think about what I'm talking about, it's like a boring set list where I'm just like, oh,
Over analysing yourself.
yeah. And how many times have I thought about this joke? And then, whereas I genuinely think people are gonna listen to this and think, well, number one, you're not funny. Number two, you're the most arrogant person I've ever
No.
heard speak on this.
Anyone that's
But
met you knows you're not
I
arrogant.
genuinely believe. You know Paul Smith? Do you know Paul Smith, the comedian?
Yes.
That fella from Liverpool who
Yeah.
just calls people sluts and knobheads?
I see his clips come up on Facebook and I always have to
Bro.
hit mute.
Multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Hey, mate! What's your name? Dan! Dan! That's a fucking knobhead's name! What's your name? Stacey! Stacey, you fucking slag!
Yeah.
That's all he does!
Yeah, it's true.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want his fan base of absolute fucking clowns,
No.
but if he can make multi-millions...
He's playing arenas this year.
he's
Arenas.
he bought himself like a Lamborghini or something stupid. He bought himself new teeth, like, off calling people knobheads and sluts.
Yeah.
Knobheads!
He picks on people in the crowd who have got like turkey teeth and then says, "Have you been to Turkey?"
Yeah.
And that's his joke and
Turkey.
everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "This is hilarious."
Me too, mate. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. What? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
See, I see things like that, and I'm like, I could be doing that. Fuck's sake, man. I can call people and twats, like. Sean Smith, the twat store, coming soon.
Episode 500, the first time the word has been...
Oh, no.
That's all right.
Oh, please bleep that.
No, it's all right.
No, go on, bleep that.
All right.
But no, I'd love a go at comedy.
Would you be confident enough to be a unrehearsed comedian that just goes on stage, feels the vibe of the room, and can just be comfortable enough just to go with what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
what you might need to do.
Yeah, I think I'd be like a good MC.
Yeah.
I could open a show. What's happening, everyone? Yeah, I could give you stories about fucking doing impressions of Fred Durst at Fred Durst. Like,
There you go.
but are those unrelatable? Do you know what I mean? Because how many people get to say, "Oh, all right, yeah, I'm trying this now." I previously stood on Reading and Leeds main stage to 90,000 people, and I'm here now in this room full of 15 people. Check
gonna
this
try
out.
and
Do
be
you guys
funny.
know Fred Durst? Well, I do. So yeah, I don't know. But I know I'm funny. and there's some days I'm incredibly funny, and I feel them. Like I some days I wake up and go, oh, I'm very funny today.
Why didn't you bring that version to the podcast today? Episode 500, dude. I wanted people to laugh.
Yeah. It hasn't been. It has been slightly more depressing than I probably thought it'd be. Especially when I brought up my dad. Never really been happy about me being in a band. But
that's okay.
yeah.
I like the real talk.
Yeah. Well.
Are you happy now? That's a big question to end on. Are you happy now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I feel it. I'm going to hopefully complete on a house on the 20th of July.
Proper adulthood
so
now.
Nice to actually be known as a home owner. Though I also think it might be pointless with everything that's going on in the world. But
we're not ending on we're dying in 2 years.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah.
Remember, this is a celebration, 500 episodes.
Yeah.
Not we're going to die.
Sean, why haven't got any kids? Because I read the news.
Yes.
I know what's going to happen. Come on, man. Anyway, yes. I've loved this, Mark, and I've genuinely loved how our friendship has grown and blossomed over the years.
It has, hasn't it?
Honestly, one of my favourite things about getting to do festivals is seeing you, hanging out with you, and just having a laugh in between talking to super cool rock stars. Me and you just get to hang out and go, that's fucking weird, isn't it?
I know.
Oh,
How many times do we say, how the fuck are we doing this?
Yeah.
Gavin Rosdale.
Yeah, me and you were just mingling backstage, and then it's like, oh, that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Just got to go and interview the singer from Bush. Oh, us too. It's nice, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it? It is. But yeah, honestly, it's been a fucking absolute treat getting to know you. And
it's very kind.
Yeah, I love you very much.
I love you too, dude. And that's why episode 500 had to be a personal episode. So episode 200 was my dad.
Oh.
So I had my dad on. And as you'll know now, if the time comes when my dad dies, I've got that forever.
That's amazing.
So I've got something there to reflect on and listen back. Like I always say, it's like a photo taken in a moment.
Yeah.
And it's ready for the world to listen to. And episode 500 had to be personal. Yes, I could have gone and asked Keanu at Download. Yes, I could have tried to get Chino from Deftones again or something. But I wanted something personal, man. I wanted a friend, you know? Someone important.
Nice, thank you. Well, yeah, no, I look forward to going to festivals just to hang out with you. And
isn't it weird as well that when I listen to other podcasts talk to us, I think it was Fundamentals were talking to you, and then there was the Chronicles, and they feel that Sappenin and Mark and me should be rivals.
Yeah.
Like we're battling at festivals to be up, like one up each other.
Well, I get that feeling from other people's podcasts towards us.
It's weird, isn't it?
Even though, like, me and you are like this backstage, just walking about. Like,
exactly.
I'll talk to anybody who wants to talk to me. Fucking, hey, I just told you I'm busting to be a comedian. Like, if I can try out some shit, I'll do it. So, yeah, it's just, you get to these press things some days and you see people like scorning at you, and you're like, we're all here to do the same fucking job. Like, what does it matter? Just make sure you're asking different questions to me. That's all it is.
It's like, weird, isn't it?
Like, people think there's a rivalry and like, no, not at all. Like
I'm angry at you because you spoke to a band.
Yeah, I can't give a fuck.
Like, I will do anything I can to make sure once they finished, they're ready for you to have our area to record in. Or, hey, Sean, I can get you some time with... I know Morgan likes this band. Do you want to try and jump in on this one?
And then vice versa. Yeah, like we've looked out for each other and we've kept spaces for each other backstage in press things when...
We share the same space next to these big outlets.
Yeah, there's like... it's normally Kerrang, Rock Sound. Us.
Yeah, and we share together.
Yeah, and then
that's weird.
There's other podcasts wandering about, just scorning and looking fucking weird. And I hate it when they come up to you and like, who have you got then? And then like they want to know your full lineup, and like I literally walk up and go, I haven't got a fucking clue. I don't book any of this. Like, this is all Morgan. But like the amount of people who want to know who you've got so they can compare who they've got to you. And I
like
just don't.
Sticker album. What shinies have you got?
I just don't care.
No.
I'd rather just... I'm here to have fun with whoever wants to speak to me, and I'm going to see Mark.
Yeah. So that's nice, isn't it?
And that's all I give a fuck about. We have a right laugh. We have a good time.
It's weird how we've grown, because it's just strangely like we would have been at a festival one day, probably saying, "Is it right if I use your space, mate?"
Yeah.
And you'd have just now grown to be this family.
Well, 'cause we
over
see each other
7 or 8 years.
We see each other about at least 3 to 4 times a year at these
for
festival
whole
things.
weekends and days on end.
Yeah, we spend loads of times together.
Share stories.
Share stories, and yeah, just hang out and have a laugh. And I think it's because we don't take ourselves 100% seriously as well. Because some people just think like, oh well, I'm here to work, and this is my work, and
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, it just gets boring and shit, and then nobody wants to talk to you if you're not having fun as well. Like
No.
the amount of people we've had on our podcast who have left after and gone, boys, that was so fun. I can't believe it.
And when you get
we
a-
forgot to talk about the album. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's all right. We'll mention it in the intro.
And when the management say they fucking love that interview, you're like, it was all worth it. Like you just feel like a pat on the back, because this is a job that people don't realise as a podcaster. You don't get paid.
Yeah.
You don't get paid. Everyone's mentality is, well, Peter Crouch has got a podcast and that's free, so why are you fucking wanting to charge £1 for a download? So I'm
Yeah.
like, we'll always be free. Even press are like, we're getting paid to put this band to you, but now you're doing it for free, the interview bit.
Yeah.
But the person who brought the band to you is getting paid.
Yeah.
We're the only people that don't get paid.
Yeah.
We get shafted every week. It's
Fucking
weird, isn't
shafted,
it? Isn't it weird though?
Yeah.
We just
Do
do
you
it
know
for
what?
free.
This is the last episode of Mark and Me.
Yes.
We've just realised
Yes.
now we could be fucking doing so much
Yeah.
better. Yeah, it's a weird one, and it's an awesome format, because like you said earlier, I think us and you have genuinely made our way now into the UK alternative media landscape to the point where we're on a level.
I know.
Like, we get Kerrang, Rock Sound, Mark and Me, Sappenin. That's just the lineup of
I
those
know.
3 fucking tents that are
I
in
know.
every festival, and they're just for us.
I know.
But then you see other people walking about skulking because they couldn't get in, or they can't have a certain person, and it's like,
That's why I
sorry.
say it's never luck, dude. Mark and Me this year is 10 years.
Wow.
So 10 years of, is it okay if I just have 5 minutes with that band? No, fuck off. Okay, no problem. Next year. Well, I did interview this band. Oh, okay. I'll take you seriously now.
I tell you what was a good moment for Sappenin. At Slam Dunk, we went backstage to go and speak to Take It Back Sunday. It hasn't come out yet. We did a full episode with them, and they asked for us.
How nice is that?
They asked for us.
Yeah.
I saw Adam. As soon as I saw Adam, he came over and he went, Sappenin! And I was like, there it is.
I know.
Tidy. Here you go, branding. It's worked. And that is, Sappenin is literally how people of Merthyr greet each other.
And I've heard that today in a cafe
You
when
heard
we
it
went
wild-
for a coffee, and
yeah.
you went, you're going to hear this live
Wild.
today. And I didn't realise, and someone was like, Sappenin! And I'm like,
Oh, someone knows the podcast? No.
No.
Merthyr
this-
people know each
this
other.
is it.
And yeah, Adam said to me, he's like, boys, I woke up today, I looked at our schedule, and I got happy because I saw Sappenin was on it. And I was like, that's the greatest compliment we could ever. Like, you woke up over here going, oh, here we go, I got press to do today. You looked through it, and it made it it made you, Adam Lazara, happy because you saw our stupid podcast name and you knew you were going to have fun with us. That means the fucking world to me.
I had the same moment at Download. We're not going to sit here and reminisce and suck ourselves off, but I was at Download and I was taking a photo of Gavin Rosdale with these guys, and they'd just done a podcast. I walked over, and then Paddy Constantine's like, all right, Mark, how's it going? And I'm like, all right, I'm stood by him. I have a literally 2 minutes chat with him about music and who he's seeing and his daughter loving this band and that band. And on my shoulder just got tapped. I turn around and Gavin's like, Mark, love the podcast today. Genuinely, I'll do this all day, every day, but that was so good. Just wanted to say thanks again. I'll see you soon. And I just looked at Paddy. I was like, and that's the singer of Bush. And I'm telling Paddy, who's
Mad.
one of my favourite actors,
One of the greatest
how
British actors of all
much
time.
I enjoyed interviewing one of the biggest frontmen who's headlined Woodstock.
Yeah.
What
Mad,
the fuck?
And this, yeah,
What the fuck?
we've made this happen.
Yeah.
So I know we said we weren't going to suck each other off.
No.
But fair play to us, right? Fair play to both of us and Morgan for what we've created, what we've done so far, and what we're going to do in the future. Because genuinely, after Slam Dunk and Download this year, something happened at those events that made me
and I don't know what the thing specifically is, but it felt like there's more of an impact with us now than ever.
Yeah.
So when I heard those things from Take It Back Sunday, and how excited people were to speak to us, and we talked to Jacob, who's now fronting Sublime.
Yeah.
He's fronting his father's band. After his father passed away, he's now the front man of the band. We left that, and we got an email after that saying, "Oh, Sublime's," I don't know what you said in that interview, but Sublime love you. And we were like, awesome. Fantastic. Didn't go out the way, didn't blow smoke up his ass, just genuinely being happy that he's doing well. So yeah, congratulations to you, Mark. You fucking deserve it. You deserve to be paid handsomely for this. Not just paid handsomely.
Thank you, dude. We have to end the episode in true Mark and me fashion.
Yep.
And you get to choose a song that's the music that's played on the end of the episode. And I've done that now for 500 episodes.
I'm going to go...
Any song in the world by any band that means a lot to you.
All right, The Gentle Art of Making Enemies by Faith No More.
And what's the reason for that choice? Because that's more important than the song.
It shows the amazing range of Mike Patton. From crooning to singing to screaming to saying the line, "I'm the best fuck that you ever had. And if I tighten up my hole, you may never see the light again." And that's perfect for me, because he's fucking nuts and I love him. So Gentle Art of Making Enemies by Faith No More, which the Blackout covered, is a B-side somewhere. I think it's on Spotify actually as well. So there's a cover up by the Blackout of that song, which I do my best Mike Patton, and it's terrible.
Thank you for coming on the podcast, dude.
Thank you for having me.
500 episodes now under the belt.
Congratulations.
Do you get these pressures when you have to do a milestone episode? Like, you've got 400 coming up.
Yeah.
Do you feel the pressure? People out there don't understand. It's like, what do I do? Everyone expects me to get Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Or why haven't you got, Jonathan Davis from Korn? It's like...
Yeah, why haven't you got the world's first trillionaire?
Yeah. But it's true. People are like...
It's difficult to do.
You put pressure on yourself, don't you?
I don't platform Nazis. So.
Independent podcaster.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to go to shit the last 10 minutes of the episode. Yeah.
I mean...
Faith No More will play us out.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I love this.
And,
Sorry it's taken so long, because we should have done this years ago.
I know, but 500 feels like a real big milestone. Like, you only get one shot at 500.
And the fact that we've had a lovely day out.
Where are we going to go now after this? So the listeners, we've been round Murphy-Tydvil. We've been for a beautiful sandwich.
We could go and have a look at the Gurness.
Yeah.
You can go and have a look at the infamous Gurness estate.
Okay.
Which is rough as guts.
Sounds good. This might never get released. I could get stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
All my recording equipment's literally had ripped out my hands.
Well, if you listen to this now, let me know by getting in touch with me on Instagram at FakeSeanSmith.
Lovely.
Nice one. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. And appreciate you greatly. And cheers to another fucking... I'll do episode 1000 as well, if we're both still alive.
Yes. In 10 years' time.
Jesus
Fuck.
Christ.
It'd be pure AI. Mark and Sean. AI.
I think... Yeah. I started watching a guy on Instagram who pretends to be ChatGPT. Have you seen?
Yeah.
He just... oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Have you thought of that? And yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for having me. I love you very much. I appreciate you very much. And I can't wait to see you again around festivals.
In a week's time.
Yeah, a week's time at the 2000 Trees. And then we're playing Birmingham in December. So
yes,
come to that,
down.
please.
Love you very much, dude.
Thank you.
See you
soon.
You. Bye-bye, dude.
Nice one.
So there it is. There's my episode recorded live in Murphy-Tydvil with the legend Sean Smith. I knew it would be the perfect guest for this episode. He is truly a great friend. To do it in person at Murphy-Tydvil, it was very special. We spent the whole day together. It kind of built the foundations for the interview, getting to see where he lived, where he grew up, all the places to get stabbed. You know, all the stuff you want when you go and do a podcast. But truly, it was a great day. It's something I won't forget, and I'm very, very grateful to Sean for coming on the podcast. It's also the longest interview I've ever done, which I think is perfect. And I did chop quite a bit out because we wouldn't be podcasting if I'd left it in. But I really hope you all have enjoyed it just as much as me, and to celebrate 500 episodes of Mark and Me. It's pretty impossible to try and get your head around the fact I've done 500 episodes, but I actually feel like I've only still just got started, which sounds insane. This year is the 10th year of Mark and Me, so there's loads of stuff to celebrate. But I really truly believe that even though I've got these incredible guests and all these festivals under the belt, I still feel like every day is the first episode. So I don't see myself giving up this podcast anytime soon. But what I'd like to do today is to end by kind of saying how much I appreciate every single person that listens to this podcast. People don't realise this, and they really don't when I go to festivals. I'm a one-man podcaster. I am literally a one-man team. I edit, record, publish, promote, do all the marketing, and I love it. And I will never stop doing this because it just means so much to speak to these amazing people, have these conversations, and as I have said recently, it feels like a photo album of all these memories that I get to publish for the world to see. And this one is one of my favourites. So a massive thank you again to each and every one of you who's taken the time to listen to Mark and Me, for every single person that has shared the episodes, every single person that has liked an episode, listened, told their friends. It's insane. As you probably saw only last week, I hit 10 million downloads on Spotify, which is something I never believed I would ever achieve. So I really am just so appreciative to each and every single person. But I would like to say thank you personally to a few people on this episode that really have been there since the start. So I have a really good friend called Scott +1 Higgins, and he has been there literally from the start. He's always listened to early episodes to give me feedback. He's come to festivals to support me, and he's truly one of the best friends I could ever ask for. Also, my good friend Darren Wolf, an absolute legend that has always given me advice whenever I felt like it's getting too much. He's always kept my head above water, and I wouldn't be here today without him. So that's truly a massive, massive thank you. Also, the people that I see always listening and always sharing the episodes. My good friend Tom, Mike, Lorna, Martin. I see all these people, and trust me, I know there's so many more, but those are people that have been there from the start, and I see each and every share, and it's so, so appreciative, and I wouldn't truly have the listeners that I have today without you guys always spreading the word. And obviously, I want to dedicate every episode of Mark and Me to my amazing girls. I love you so, so much. The reason I do everything that I do is because of you, and I really, truly couldn't love you any more if I tried. Right, I'm getting emotional, so what I want to say now is thank you so much again. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode. Sean, I am forever in your debt for coming on the episode and just being such a true, incredible friend of mine. And until the next episode, look after yourself, take care, and I'll speak to you all very soon.
The same mistakes, it doesn't have to be like this. If you don't make a friend now, one might make you, so learn the gentle art of making enemies.
Don't you look so surprised? Happy birthday, you fucker! You blow that candle out, we're gonna kick you! Don't say you're not because you are! Don't say you're not because you are! It's a reason that you are! It's a reason that you are! Well, all you need is just one more excuse. You put up one hell of a fight. You put up one hell of a fight. I wanna hear your very best excuse. I never felt this much alive. I never felt this much alive.
Your day has finally come, so wear the hat and do the dance and let the suit keep wearing you. This year you'll sit and take it, and you will like make it, it's the gentle art of making enemies.
And I deserve a reward, 'cause I'm the best fuck that you ever had. And if I tighten up my hole, you may never see the light again. There's always an easy way out.